Within you, an ancient force lies dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. It coils at the base of your spine like a serpent of sacred fire. This primordial energy, known as Kundalini, is the divine spark that sustains all of creation, the cosmic feminine principle that gives birth to the universe itself. Since time immemorial, sages and mystics have spoken of this latent power, an inexhaustible source of transformation and enlightenment. When Kundalini awakens, its ascent through the body's subtle channels triggers profound and irreversible changes. It is a journey of complete transmutation, where every aspect of your being, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, is purified and reshaped. But this journey is not for the faint of heart. The awakening of Kundalini is a process of death and rebirth. Everything that is not aligned with your highest truth will be stripped away. Old beliefs, buried traumas, deep-seated fears, all will rise to the surface, demanding to be faced and ultimately transcended. It can be an overwhelming experience. Kundalini does not ask permission, nor does it compromise. It burns, it destroys, it remakes. But for those who dare to walk this path, the rewards are beyond imagination. Elevated states of consciousness, profound spiritual insights, and the revelation of your true nature as a divine being become a lived reality. This is the path of enlightenment, the ultimate journey of self-discovery and liberation. If you feel the call, then prepare yourself. The awakening has already begun. Now, let us explore the stages of this journey and what happens when this sacred force begins to rise within you. The awakening of Kundalini. The first stage of Kundalini awakening is marked by a sudden and intense shift in consciousness. It can happen unexpectedly, like a spiritual lightning bolt, or it may result from dedicated practices such as deep meditation, pranayama, intense prayer, or even a transformative encounter with a spiritual master. When this energy awakens for the first time, the body and mind may be overwhelmed by extraordinary sensations. You might feel a wave of heat rising through your spine, like an inner fire ascending. Some people report chills, tingling, involuntary spasms, or even visions of bright lights and vibrant colors. Mysterious sounds may echo within the mind, resembling celestial chants or distant bells. These phenomena occur because Kundalini begins to purify the body's subtle channels, known as nadis, clearing stagnant energy and opening new pathways for expanded consciousness. Emotional and psychological reactions. On an emotional level, this awakening can be overwhelming. You may experience rapturous ecstasy, a deep connection with the universe, and an unconditional love that transcends anything you've ever known. At the same time, the ego may react with fear, resistance, and even panic. The mind, accustomed to the illusion of control, suddenly faces something far greater than it ever imagined. Repressed fears may surface with full force, triggering existential crises and deep questioning of reality. Kundalini awakening is not a gentle or gradual event. It is an unrelenting call to truth. Everything within you that is not real will be dismantled. How to navigate this stage? If Kundalini has begun to awaken within you, it is crucial to have a solid foundation to integrate this experience and prevent it from becoming destabilizing. Here are some essential practices to support you on this journey. Meditation and yoga. Establish a daily practice to anchor this energy and maintain balance between body and mind. Conscious eating. Avoid stimulants and heavy foods that overload the nervous system. Light, natural foods aid in the integration process. Connection with nature. Walking barefoot, touching the earth, listening to the wind. All of these help to balance and harmonize Kundalini energy. Guidance from spiritual masters. Having An experienced guide can be crucial in understanding these changes and avoiding common pitfalls on this path. Surrender and trust. Above all, trust the process. Kundalini does not awaken by accident. If it has come to you, it is because your transformation is at hand. Now that you understand the first stage, you are ready to move forward. In the next chapters, we will explore the next phases of this sacred journey. If you want to keep uncovering the mysteries of spiritual awakening, like this video and subscribe to the channel. The path is unfolding before you. Are you ready to take the next step? Stage 2, purification and cleansing. The fire of transformation has already been ignited, and now Kundalini energy advances, burning away everything that is not aligned with your deepest truth. This is the stage of purification, an unyielding process of cleansing that occurs on every level of your being. Kundalini, like a mighty river, sweeps away the accumulated debris of your life. Limiting patterns, buried traumas, and outdated beliefs that no longer serve you. What was once hidden now surfaces with full force, and this purification can be intense. You will feel your energy being reorganized from the inside out, dismantling structures that no longer support your evolution. But remember, everything that is happening is necessary. Every discomfort, every crisis, every revelation is part of the path to your true liberation. Now, let's explore how this stage manifests in your body, mind, and emotions. Impact on the physical body. As Kundalini moves through the subtle energy channels, it directly influences your physical body. Unexpected symptoms may arise as your system tries to adapt to this new vibrational frequency. Waves of heat or extreme cold with no apparent explanation. Tremors, muscle spasms, or tingling, especially along the spine. Changes in sleep patterns, ranging from insomnia to an intense need for more rest. Sudden cravings for dietary changes, feeling drawn to fasting, juices, or natural foods. Headaches or pressure in the forehead, as if something is being activated internally. It is common for the body to demand more rest and care during this period. Kundalini energy is rebuilding you from within, and this regeneration requires time and patience. Emotional purification. Kundalini does not just activate life energy, it also brings to the surface everything that has been repressed throughout your life. What was once hidden in the unconscious now emerges with full intensity. Old wounds and traumas resurface, demanding to be finally healed. Deep fears and insecurities arise, often in an overwhelming way. Intense emotional crises may occur without an apparent reason, bringing tears or feelings of emptiness. Moments of unconditional love, alternating with periods of deep sadness and nostalgia. This is a time of internal confrontation, but do not run away. This is the moment to embrace these emotions, understanding that everything emerging now is asking to be healed and integrated. Mental restructuring. The mind, accustomed to operating within predictable patterns, may strongly resist the Kundalini purification process. Shifts in perception of reality. The world may seem more vivid, more alive, almost as if it is revealing itself in a new way. Oscillations between mental hyperactivity and deep states of clarity. One moment, your mind is racing, processing countless thoughts. The next, there is absolute silence, as if everything is dissolving. Difficulty connecting with old beliefs and concepts, as truths that once seemed unshakable begin to disintegrate. Profound intuitions and spontaneous insights, as if you are accessing an ancient wisdom that has always been within you. This phase can be confusing, as you are learning to see beyond what you were conditioned to believe. But remember, the deconstruction of illusion is the first step to true clarity. How to navigate this challenging phase. purification is not a linear process. You may go through intense cleansing periods followed by moments of calm, only to be challenged again. But there are ways to make this journey more harmonious. Practice self-care and self-compassion. Treat yourself with patience and kindness. This is a deep process, and each person experiences it in a unique way. Move consciously. Practices like yoga, dance, and martial arts help release stagnant energy and maintain inner balance. Seek support from therapists or spiritual guides. They can help you understand and process the challenges that arise. Cultivate self-reflection. Keeping a journal of your experiences can bring clarity and help you track your own evolution. Trust the process. Even when it feels difficult or overwhelming, remember that this purification is serving your highest good. Kundalini is sculpting a new version of you, one that is more authentic, more free, and more deeply connected to your divine essence. Stage 3. The awakening of the chakras. As Kundalini energy continues its upward journey, it initiates a powerful and transformative process, the activation of the chakras. These energy centers, aligned along the spinal column, are portals of consciousness and integration. Each chakra holds a secret, an aspect of your existence that, once awakened, brings new perceptions, abilities, and spiritual expansions. But this awakening does not always happen in a linear or smooth way. It may come as overwhelming insights, intense physical sensations, or even profound emotional challenges. Now let's explore how each of these energy centers awakens and how this activation transforms your life. The 7 chakras and their transformation. First chakra, root, Muladhara. Located at the base of the spine, this chakra is linked to survival, security, and grounding. When awakened, you may feel a strong sense of stability, as if you are finally safe within the flow of life. Feelings of connection to the earth and trust in the universe to provide for your needs become more evident. Second chakra, sacral, Svadhisthana. Positioned in the lower abdomen, this chakra governs creativity, sexuality, and emotional fluidity. Its awakening can release powerful creative energy, bring more pleasure into life, and deepen your connection with your most authentic emotions. Third chakra, solar plexus, Manipura. Located in the stomach area, this chakra is the seat of personal power, self-esteem, and self-expression. When activated, you experience renewed confidence, an inner fire that drives you forward, helping you manifest your purpose with clarity and determination. Fourth chakra, heart, Anahata. The chakra of love, compassion, and connection. Its awakening can bring intense emotional openness, a profound sense of unity with all creation, and a greater ability to give and receive love without fear. Fifth chakra, throat, Vishuddha, responsible for communication, authentic expression, and personal truth. When activated, you gain clarity to express your essence without fear, while also developing a heightened sensitivity to listening and understanding others on a deeper level. Sixth chakra, third eye, Ajna. Located at the center of the forehead, between the eyebrows, this chakra governs intuition, inner vision, and spiritual perception. When awakened, it brings profound insights, vivid dreams, and a clearer connection with universal wisdom. Seventh chakra, crown, Sahasrara. At the top of the head, this chakra represents connection with the divine, enlightenment, and universal consciousness. Its awakening can lead to deep mystical experiences, an indescribable sense of peace, and the realization that everything is a manifestation of the same divine source. How to support the awakening of your chakras. The activation of the chakras can bring unexpected challenges and sensations, but certain practices can help harmonize and ease this transition. Practice yoga and specific breathing techniques for each chakra, like Mula Bandha, perineum contraction, for the root chakra, or lion's breath for the throat chakra. Use color therapy and visualization. Mentally visualize colors associated with each chakra during meditation to stimulate balance. Try healing sounds. Mantras and specific chants help activate and clear blocked chakras. Express yourself creatively. Dancing, painting, writing, or any form of creative expression can release and strengthen the energy of each chakra. Practice daily meditation and self-inquiry. This helps deepen your awareness of the chakras and understand how they influence your spiritual journey. Stage 4, the dark night of the soul. After the awakening of the chakras, a profound and inevitable phenomenon may occur: the dark night of the soul. This is a period of intense deconstruction and transformation, where everything that once made sense may seem to collapse. You may feel as if you have lost your purpose, that the certainties that once sustained your life have been stripped away, and that you are alone in a vast emptiness. This phase is often misunderstood. It is not a punishment. It is not a mistake. It is a rebirth. The dark night of the soul happens when the ego begins to dissolve, when illusions are dismantled so that truth can emerge. This is the moment when you are forced to look within and confront everything you once avoided. What can you experience during this period? Loss of identity. You may feel like you no longer recognize yourself, that you don't know who you are without your old labels and beliefs. Disinterest in things that once brought joy. Activities, relationships, or careers that once felt meaningful may now seem empty and purposeless. A deep feeling of loneliness and disconnection, as if you are isolated from the world and nothing makes sense anymore. Intense existential questioning. You might ask yourself, who am I? What is real? What is the meaning of life? Profound emotional and spiritual crises, anxiety, intense sadness, or even moments of despair may arise, accompanied by an overwhelming need to find answers. How? To navigate the dark night of the soul? This is a necessary stage of the spiritual journey, but there are ways to go through it with more awareness and resilience. Seek a spiritual guide or mentor. Someone who understands this journey can offer valuable support. Practice self-compassion and self-care. Treat yourself with kindness, avoiding excessive self-criticism. Stay connected to nature. Walks, contemplation, and silence in nature help stabilize emotions. Allow yourself to feel everything without judgment. Pain, sadness, emptiness. Everything is part of the transformation. Do not resist it. Trust the process. Know that this phase is temporary and that you will emerge from it stronger and more awakened than ever. Stage 5, the unitive state. After passing through the dark night of the soul and fully surrendering to the transformation of Kundalini energy, a new horizon unfolds before you. This is a state of expansion, a glimpse of the truth that has always been present but was once veiled by the illusions of the ego. This moment is known as the unitive state. Here, the boundaries between self and other, between the inner and the outer, begin to dissolve. You may experience an indescribable peace, an unconditional joy, and a deep connection with all things. Reality becomes more vibrant and pulsating, as if every leaf, every ray of sunlight, and every sound holds a sacred secret. The sense of separation disappears, and everything feels like part of the same divine flow. Additionally, your intuitive abilities may expand significantly, allowing you to have clearer perceptions of life, yourself, and the mysteries of the universe. Your awareness sharpens, and truth emerges, not as an intellectual concept, but as a living experience. However, it is essential to understand that the unitive state is not a fixed destination, but rather a glimpse of what has always been real. It may come and go like the tides, as it is part of the ongoing awakening process. How to cultivate the unitive state. Practice detachment and surrender. Release the need to control the journey and trust in the intelligence of Kundalini energy. Maintain a routine of meditation and self-inquiry. Questions like, "Who am I?" can help you dive deeper into your essence. Connect with nature. The silence of trees, the movement of water, and the pulse of the earth help to stabilize and expand this state of consciousness. Practice love and compassion for all beings. See yourself in others and recognize the unity beyond appearances. Trust in the flow of awakening. Kundalini energy knows exactly where it is leading you. Stage 6. Consciousness of unity. The final stage of Kundalini awakening is known as consciousness of unity. At this level, the illusion of separation completely dissolves, and you experience a state of pure oneness with all that exists. Here, there is no longer a distinction between inner and outer, between individual and cosmos, between observer and observed. Everything is perceived as a single consciousness, an eternal present of love and ecstasy. This is the state of enlightenment described by mystics and sages across spiritual traditions, a realm beyond the ego, where everything is seen as a divine dance without beginning or end. However, it is important to understand that this realization is not an endpoint, but an ongoing process. Even after experiencing unity, moments of contraction may arise, where old patterns attempt to re-emerge. This is part of the journey, as expansion and withdrawal are natural rhythms of awakening. How to sustain the consciousness of unity. Practice meditation